Hey, what is up, lads? Kasin Koral here, back playing Danganronpa 2, Goodbye Despair. I'm still a little sick today, man. So it's getting better. Everything's getting a little better, but I still want to keep it on the lows, you know. Anyways, in the last episode, we finished an investigation of Ibuki and Hiyoko's killings. I'm not going to spoil much, but we didn't have to do that much investigating, didn't have to spread out that much. But let's go into the trial grounds, yeah? Back into this trial again. You step into the escalator and send it toward the gaping mob Monokuma Rock. That's what I suddenly noticed. I noticed our lined up silhouettes keep getting smaller and smaller. I can't turn back. If I turn back, I won't be able to press forward. That's the sad reality of this case. When everyone was inside Monokuma Rock, of course, violent shaking. The elevator began its deep descent. Look at it, dude. The numbers are dwindling. We stood there trying to figure out what to say to each other. The elevators descend deeper and deeper. Guess no one will break the ice. When it decided how far it could go, it finally stopped. The elevator door slowly opened, almost tantalizingly so. Light poured from the other side, eroding boundaries of darkness. I walked to that place. Now it's a castle setting? It feels pretty toothless out with all these empty seats. Two people got killed at the same time, and Nekomaru's not here either. Is Nekomaru really not participating? If he's alive, you should invite him.
No.
Why bother?
Well now.
Let's begin. It's the beginning of the long-awaited class trial. Please enjoy it to your heart's content. And so, the current to the third class trial is about to open. Ibuki Miyoda, the ultimate musician. She was really loud, but she was the mood maker in our group. When I was with her, all my pain and suffering just seemed to melt away. Hiyoko Saonji, ultimate traditional dancer. Just looking from her adorable face, you'd never know she was actually selfish and foul-mouthed. But she was trying to change herself. And she was desperate just to try to come to terms with my hero's death. The person who killed these two was among us. How many of these candles are left, boys? I definitely can't believe it. Oh, that one's... That's 3 red panels. Whether I believe it or not isn't relevant. Once I figure out the truth, I won't be able to escape from this hell. That's why I must find out, no matter the cost. For our sake, our friend's sake, or Ibuki and Hiyoko's sake. And so, the current to the third class trial is about to open. This life-threatening trial billowing with hope and despair has begun. Let's save. Alright. Don't I have skills? Did I have one? There you go. Alright, that's it. The one and only skill that I have is set.
Now then, let's begin with a simple explanation of the class trial. During the class trial, you will present your arguments for who the killer is and vote for who done it. If you vote correctly, then only the blackened will receive punishment. I'll punish everyone besides the blackened, and that person will earn the right to leave this island. Oh well, who cares about this boring explanation? Let's get on with it already.
I don't mind starting the trial, but I don't really have a grasp of how the case played out.
Okay, Nagito.
Because I was asleep the whole time.
Asleep?
Even if you do grasp it, you're just gonna confuse the heck out of us, aren't you?
But Nagito's not alone. I don't really get it either.
You're fine. Your head's empty anyway.
Oh, wow.
Head? Huh. What's wrong with that? Listen up. The emptier your head, the more dreams you can stuff inside it, you know?
Anyway,
Okay.
we shouldn't proceed with the trial if
that's
those two
irrelevant.
can't participate in the arguments. Since he's the first witness, why don't we ask Hajime to explain the incident and the sequence of events?
Sure, fine.
Let's start with when we split into the hospital team and motel team because of the despair disease. The hospital team consisted of Nagito, Ibuki, and Akane, who were infected, and Mikan, Fuyuhiko, and me.
The other
All right.
5 in the motel team were myself, Gundam, Kazuichi, Chiaki, and Hiyoko.
Spending the night at the hospital was prohibited, so Hajime and I had to sleep at our cottages.
True.
I woke up at my
Apparently
pod from the day
Monokuma
the
outlawed
incident
it.
happened. Mikan came by to wake me up and told me that Nagito had recovered from his symptoms. We immediately headed over to the hospital, and after we confirmed his recovery, I made Mikan rest in the on-call room, since she hadn't slept all night, while I waited in the hospital lobby. And then, I saw the incoming signal light on the surveillance camera blinking before our scheduled time. When I
Yeah,
pressed
we
the
were
button to turn
about
on
to
the
go
monitor,
out somewhere.
what appeared
I
on
forgot what we were
screen
gonna do.
a
But
video
this
of
showed
someone
up.
wearing a hospital gown and a hemp bag on their head, climbing a stepladder.
Amazing! That's such a heart-pounding story. And then what did you do,
Nagito.
Hajime?
I tried to stop them, of course. I rushed out of the hospital and ran to where the video was being recorded, the music venue. But it was too late. By the time I arrived, the person wearing the hemp bag on their head was already hanging from the ceiling. I thought I should tell the others right away, so I headed to the motel.
Why the motel?
Because it was close to the music venue. And unlike the hospital, there were more able-bodied people there. At least, that's what I thought. But the only person who came with me was Chiaki.
But I remember feeling a little relieved because not long after, we met up with Mikan and Fuyuhiko.
We were also looking for Ibuki since she disappeared from our sight.
After I rested for a bit, I started counting everyone at the hospital. And then I noticed Ibuki was gone. So I sprinted
Who
out of
will
the
be our
hospital.
suspects then?
Coincidentally, I ran to Fuyuhiko. So I
I
fled
don't know.
with him
I don't have
in
anyone to
various
suspect
ways
right now.
to see if he could help me out.
Various ways?
Don't
Ooh,
say it
don't
like
get
that
flustered.
and confuse people.
After I heard from those two that Ibuki disappeared, I had a feeling she was the person wearing the hemp bag. So I immediately led them to the music venue.
But the door wouldn't open. Since we had no other option, the 4 of us broke down the door. And when that happened, we didn't just find Ibuki's body. We also found Hiyoko's.
Which
And
was
not just
not
that.
there earlier.
Her body was taped to a pillar.
That's when we heard the body discovery announcement. Not once, but twice in a row.
And so we decided to lower the hanged body, didn't we?
When we
Yeah.
removed the hemp bag, just as we feared, it was Ibuki.
And that should be where
So
Nagi's
that's how
caught
the
up, right?
case played out. Thank you. I understood it very easily.
Okay.
Well, it's clear what the problem with this case is. When Hajime left the music venue, who...
Wait, how do I know anything Hajime just said is true?
What?
Sorry, I'm only being impartial right now. And the story I just heard is clearly suspicious.
Okay.
Hajime, if you're the only one who saw the hanging video, and the first one to discover Ibuki's body, then you could be lying as much as you want right now, right?
I guess you have
Why would I
grounds.
lie?
Actually,
Obviously.
there's possible grounds.
So you could make us ignore what might be an inconvenient truth for you.
Do you doubt me?
If you're not lying, I would like you to prove it. Come on,
But we're gonna have. Is this
try
gonna
to
be our
prove it
first
to
argument?
me. Prove you're not the killer.
Just as Kazuichi said, Nagi's the kind of guy who just confuses and makes matters worse. Damn, I shouldn't have been explained to Nagito. I'm in trouble now thanks to that. Aw, man, look at this fella. Surveillance, camera, movie ticket,
Hajime's testimony is clearly suspicious.
video. Oh,
Hajime's testimony is a lie. And the fact that Ibuki hung herself.
okay.
That would also be a lie. I
Oh,
don't think I can deny that possibility. After all, Hajime is the only witness.
Why would Hajime lie?
Well, obviously because he's the killer.
Did
Oh, don't say
Hajime
that.
kill both of them?
The fact that the bodies were imitating the movie means it probably is Hajime's fault.
Actually, I didn't see the movie. I'm not the killer. There should be contradiction somewhere. I think it's Nagito's words.
Hajime's testimony is clearly suspicious.
Actually, you were there when I saw the movie, sir.
That would also...
I don't think I can. After all,
Why would Hajime...
Well, obviously, did
After showing you my
the fact
ticket,
that the
dude.
bodies were imitating the movie means it probably is Hajime's fault.
What? Oh, come on.
Hajime's testimony...
This is BS.
That would also...
I don't think I can. After all,
Why would Hajime...
Well, obviously, because
Did Hajime kill both of...
the fact that the
Where's it
bodies
there?
were imitating the movie...
There you go.
No,
Nice.
that's wrong!
Thank God I don't have to talk that much either.
I'm not the killer. I mean, there's no way I'd be able to imitate that movie.
Of course you're not. I already knew that.
Oh my God.
Before the incident, Hajime had never watched that movie. His invitation ticket is proof of that.
Why are you doing
Each
this then,
person
dude?
only received one ticket, and they're marked with a stamp that shows the date and time. Isn't that right, Monokuma?
Yes.
What's the importance
no
of
mistakes
this,
there.
man?
Which means there's no way Hajime, who never saw the movie, could commit murders that imitated it. Or did anyone tell him what happens in the movie? Of course no one did, right?
Hold on a sec. You're the one who brought this up in the first place.
Nagito,
that.
what are you doing?
Well, since we're opening with your witness testimony, I thought we should solidify the foundation. And also provide a good warm-up.
What warm-up? This isn't a game, you know.
Don't get mad. I just think warming
Guess
up is
this could
really
be a
important.
blessing in disguise, dude.
What a waste of time. Well,
Oh, even
I knew it would turn out
Chiaki,
like
okay.
this anyway. Now then, since we know Hajime's testimony is reliable, let us move on to the arguments.
So this means Ibuki definitely climbed the stepladder all by herself, right?
Yeah, I'm positive.
Then that seals it. Ibuki committed suicide.
If Ibuki
Okay.
committed suicide, then who killed Hiyoko?
A murder coincidentally occurring in the same place as a suicide. Ain't possible, huh?
like I said before, it's pretty clear what the problem with this case is. The killer murdered
Contradicting
Hiyoko while Hajime was gone. So all we gotta do is establish who could have possibly done that.
Then let's ask Hajime. How long would you say you were away from the music venue?
Time or in
I
miles
couldn't have
or
been
something
gone
like
for
that.
more than 10 minutes.
Okay, I guess.
So they
okay,
killed
time then.
Hiyoko and taped her up within 10 minutes? There's no way that's possible.
That's why the killer stalled for time by making the music venue a closed room.
What do you mean, a closed room?
The killer blocked the venue door from the inside to try and keep us from entering right away.
However, that door is the only entrance to the music venue,
I
right?
feel like that would be poor design for a
If they
building.
blocked the door
Only
from the
one
inside,
entrance,
the killer would
and
not
that
have
being
been
the
able to
main
leave
entrance.
either.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Which means, when we broke down the venue door, the killer was still inside.
Killer.
They were?
If that's the case, the only suspicious people are those who don't have an alibi for that time. And that's you two, Sonia and Kazuichi.
Ooh, Sonya. Oh, go.
Why's it gotta be us?
The others all have
I'm sorry,
alibis.
Sonya.
Chiaki, Mikan, Hajime, and I all broke down the venue door together. Gundam met up with Hajime at the motel right before that. And if Akane and Nagito were laid up in the hospital, the only person that leaves is one of you.
There's another
Okay.
person who doesn't have an alibi. You know, Nekomaru.
But he's not here. Ooh.
Why are you talking like... Huh? You're kidding, right? You're not up to something weird, are you?
Please stop making bad jokes.
If the killer was
I
hiding
didn't
inside
get the
the
joke.
venue, we should obviously doubt the people who don't have alibis.
Way
Okay.
of backing us into a wall. Is this his professional skill?
What is Yakuza, dude? The killer was inside the music venue. Well, he obviously thinks so, but is that really it? Dude, we would have at least noticed him. It's like an open space there. Transparent vlog, video.
The killer was still inside the music venue,
Come on.
locking the door from the inside.
Locking
They
the
tried
door.
to keep us from getting
no,
in.
it was glued actually.
It
Oh, that
seems
could've
they were
been it.
trying to stall for time.
did they lock the door?
I don't know.
That door should not have had a lock.
The lock was on the
Communism.
floor in front of the door.
Are you talking about the broken drumstick?
You can use that as a bolt to lock the door. By
Okay.
doing that, the killer who was hiding inside waited till we gathered together and suddenly appeared.
I'm pretty sure what Kazuichi said earlier
I've seen this in
was the
serial crime
contradiction.
dramas.
Or it could be Akane's blue words and shit. If that thing that I found, yeah, okay.
The killer was
Has-
still inside
he's
by
definitely
locking the
talking
door
about the
from the inside.
Oh god. Got him.
No, that's wrong.
I don't know why it wasn't working for the words.
Listen, there's also a possibility that
The words
door
were,
was
like,
locked
way
from the
off, though.
outside.
From the outside. How?
There's a semi-transparent glob stuck to the venue door. Maybe that's what they used.
Semi-transparent glob. Like rubber, maybe?
Global rubber? It wasn't rubber at all. That semi-transparent glob was probably glue.
That semi-transparent glob
Gorilla glue?
must
Green
have been
gorilla
glue.
glue?
Blue?
Yeah, I think so too. It had a firm, gel-like chewiness. And I could smell workshop chemicals the moment I put it in my mouth. Based on all that,
Yeah, I can
I'm
describe
certain
that.
it was glue.
I didn't know glue was edible.
No.
I believe it is not something one typically eats.
That glue
Yeah,
was
you don't
only
eat
applied
that
to
shit,
the
dude.
areas where both doors touched. By pouring it in the gaps of the closed door, they must have sealed the venue door from the outside.
And thanks to that, a glob of glue was left where the door was stuck. Yep, it fits perfectly.
Okay, Chiaki.
If you just stick them together with glue, you'd be able to break down the door easily, you know? That doesn't really matter. The killer only did that to make us think the door was locked from the inside.
What'd you say?
First of all, didn't that drumstick we found seem really obvious? Almost unnaturally so? It was
Depends
so
on where he found it.
obvious
I didn't see it on the
that it makes
floor,
more
so.
sense to think the killer placed it as a diversion.
Are you saying the
Possibility.
drumstick was a trap the killer set on purpose? Then I totally fell for that fucking trap.
Don't beat yourself too
Apologize
much,
to
man.
Miss Sonia and me. However, you're not allowed to slice open your stomach this time.
In a quarrel, both sides are to blame. That's why it's better to just have no sides at all.
What is this
So,
aesthetic?
During the 10 minutes
Her
Hajime left
aesthetic
the venue,
didn't go
the
away.
killer murdered Hiyoko and created a closed space.
And they also taped her up after killing her, right?
Even
Yes,
quick work
mate.
has limits.
Oh, what unimaginable speed for a slowpoke like me.
If they
Mikan?
couldn't have done it while Hajime was away from the
What are you
venue,
talking about? What was Mikan talking about
they
herself?
must have done it earlier than that.
But
Earlier?
when Hajime got to the venue, only Ibuki's body was there, right?
And when you went back with everyone else, Hiyoko's body was there too, right? But it's
True.
possible that the body was just revealed at that time, when Hiyoko was actually killed earlier.
Just revealed?
Of course, the body wasn't revealed on its own. The killer did that too. Here, I have proof.
Oh, the ripped thing.
That scrap of paper. Is that what we found in the baton lighting at the music venue?
Yeah, one of your hands
That's
just got
right.
that.
But just what is this scrap anyway?
What was that thick scrap of paper that was stuck to baton lighting in the music venue? Should have been part of something originally. Just seeing what that was in the music venue. I should be able to figure out what that is. I'm pretty sure it's like... What was that thing? It was literally right on the storage room and shit. W-E-Z-E, that thing is wallpaper. Okay. Alright. Alright, let's... Ah, fuck. Wallpaper... The R's are gonna converge. Okay. Oh god, no, okay. tape. Okay, I need more P. Alright. Why did I put it there? Oh. Okay, God. I should get these. Oh, damn it. I messed that up. Just need a E. Yeah, I'm gonna do a roll like this. Oh, this should be it. Got him. Wallpaper.
Scrap. Isn't it part of the wallpaper in the storage room?
Yes. It was on the over there, yes.
Storage room. There should have been black wallpaper that's the same color as that scrap. There was also a tear along the edge of the wallpaper, wasn't there? If so,
You're right. You overlaid the scrap that was caught on the lighting with the tear in the wallpaper. See? It fits perfectly.
Well, kind of.
I see. So the scrap that was caught on the baton lighting was originally part of the wallpaper.
And what's
Yeah.
wrong with that? Does it have something to do with Hiyoko's body disappearing?
A mere
Probably.
nobody like me isn't important enough to answer that.
Oh,
But if you guys
guess.
were exceptional enough to identify that scrap of paper, you
Yeah,
can
this man's
figure
not gonna
this
work.
out easily.
This man just wants us to figure it out on our own. That scrap of paper stuck to baton lighting was part of the wallpaper I found in the storage room. Is it connected to a sudden appearance of Hiyoko's body? Meaning, did the killer use that wallpaper to make Hiyoko appear next to the pillar? If we trace it back from there, the answer should become clear. Alright, let's give it a try. Oh, logic dive. Okay. Wait, how do I go fast? There you go. Oh, damn it. Okay, that's weird. L1 is to jump and shit. Oh god. No questions yet. Come on. Alright, just the first one. Why did Hiyoko's body suddenly appear? Got there. I would say it was hidden. Remember, the pillar was a little thicker before when we first discovered Ibuki. Oh god. Where's the second one? Here you go. What the killer used? The wallpaper. Curtain. No, if it was the curtain, it would be in the backstage then. Alright, just one more. Oh, whoa. Oh, I can use the D-pad too? Okay. Oh. Ooh, that's on the edge, dude. Alright, third one. Last one. How did the killer hide the body? They covered the pillar, dude. Because remember, it was thick. The pillar was thick before and shit. Ooh. Alright. We piece it all together, boys.
I got it. Hyoko's body was hidden before we found it.
But it would
Before
have
I
taken
found
quite a
you.
long time to tape up a hidden body.
No, the body was already taped up and the killer hid it, along with the pillar using the wallpaper.
They hid the pillar?
Yeah,
The
by
body
wrapping
within
the
the
wallpaper
pillar.
around the pillar, the
Or
killer was
should I
able to
say-
create a slightly larger pillar.
Inside the fake pillar.
So when I first discovered Ibuki's body, Hyoko's body was already there. However,
Yep.
because it was concealed within a
It
slightly
was
larger
thick,
pillar,
now
I
it was
didn't realize
thin.
that at the time.
Well, that's understandable. I mean, it makes sense that you'd notice Ibuki's body right away.
So they
True,
used
it's
the
the
baton lighting on
outstanding
the ceiling
feature
to
in that
hang the
room.
wallpaper?
The baton lighting forms a perfect circle around the pillar, so using it to hang the wallpaper totally fits.
Yep.
The reason the wallpaper was covered in so many stickers was to make it look like that pillar.
There you go.
That's how they hid
Mikon.
Hyoko's body, and then peeled off the wallpaper as soon as I left the music video.
But the killer made a mistake. They accidentally ripped off a piece of the wallpaper. And because of that,
When they're
a
taking them
scrap was
down.
left on the baton lighting.
The killer must have been in a hurry. Their plan took too long. Hajime could have walked in on them.
True that.
Going to the trouble of hiding the body and the pillar is very bold and risky.
The crime
That's
itself
true.
would be much easier to pull off since they don't have much to do while Hajime's gone. They just have to peel off that wallpaper and stash it in the storage room. It's not that big of a deal.
Then, when was Hiyoko actually killed?
Good point. And on that note,
Probably before
it's about
when we
time we
discovered
shed
it.
some light on those imitation murders.
Oh.
You mentioned imitation murder more than
Oh,
once.
Monami.
But what is that?
Are you kidding me? You haven't seen my masterpiece? The Wizard
Oh,
of
it's not a
Monami
masterpiece either, Monokuma, come on.
2.5D?
Hey, don't put my likeness in your movies without my permission.
Actually, no one
You're
cares about
pretty
the Monami.
noisy for someone who eats mothballs.
I don't eat
Mothballs?
mothballs. I just enjoy looking at them.
Oh,
I
that doesn't
knew it.
sound weird.
There are so many similarities. It must have been intentional.
Ibuki's
Intentional?
death by hanging matches the Scarecrow's death from the movie. Not just that, but Hiyoko getting taped up after her death matches the lion's death.
It's as if
Yeah.
both crimes were replicas of scenes from the movie, although the mutilated Tin Man was omitted.
But
That
why
would've
did the
been
killer
gruesome
go
if
to
that
all
was
this
an
trouble
actual
in the first place?
part of the actual murder.
Based on what we know, the reason the killer chose these imitations isn't that difficult to figure out.
They're the easy ones. The reason the killer imitated the two victims in the movie, they probably wanted us to think everything was happening the same way it did in the movie. To mix up the killing order. Interesting.
The reason the killer imitated two of the murders from the movie was so he'd mix up the killing order.
Then, Hiyoko was actually killed before Ibuki?
A valid line of reasoning.
Yeah, it's valid. The condition of Ibuki's body suggests that as well.
If you're going to cry and beg like that, then I guess I'll hear about the condition of Ibuki's body.
I'm not even crying.
I'll let you sob as much as you want later. Just hurry up and tell me before I change my mind.
What a jerk!
Oh, I see. You want me to explain it to you, right? Because you don't understand what I'm saying, right?
Right.
Bigger jerk? Impossible!
Look,
Got him.
Ibuki died because she hanged herself, right? That means when she was still alive, her feet were touching the floor.
What's wrong with
That's
that?
true.
But it seems Ibuki was still standing when Hiyoko was killed. That would mean Hiyoko was killed before Ibuki.
Okay.
How light. Your words are so light as the sylph's feather. Your opponent is out of your league. It is too absurd to try to perplex me so inadequately.
Man, he's being annoying again.
Ah,
First and foremost,
okay.
you claim
That's all
Ibuki's
right,
feet
Taz.
were touching the floor when he
Do whatever you want.
How can a low-class creature with no psychic abilities like you know something like that?
Because she
You
was
have
doing
that?
something that's only
You have the
possible
psychic
if her
powers?
feet were on the floor.
It seems you suffer from a pathetic delusion.
You want to talk?
Anyway, if this continues, we're just gonna talk in circles. I think it's best if we clarified Ibuki's status when Hiyoko was killed. Okay. Blood and soul, stepladder, or the candle.
When
I think the
Hiyoko
candle has
died,
anything to do with this.
Ibuki's feet were on the floor.
Ooh.
I
Oh
am
no.
telling you to present your evidence.
Did you see her
Oh, God.
walking?
If her feet were on the floor, was there any sign she stepped on something?
Were there
Were
stepladder?
there even any
Oh,
footprints
God.
at the crime scene?
Maybe her feet were on the floor,
Blood on the soul.
but she was like sitting or something.
Actually, it could be blood on the soles.
So instead,
but
there'd be a
where
mark
do
on
I...
her ass.
No.
Weak, weak, I say!
Oh.
It doesn't even pierce my heart!
It's just as Chiaki said. Ibuki should have still been standing when Hiyoko was killed. And I need to show everyone my proof and shit.
When Hiyoko died,
Blood on the
Ibuki's
soles, I
feet
guess.
were on the floor.
I am telling you to present your evidence!
Did you see her walking?
If her feet were on the floor, was there any sign she stepped on something?
Oh yes, there is actually.
I agree with that.
This evidence shows that. Fuck, who is that? Gundam.
Just as Sonia said, Ibuki stepped on something. That something was blood. There were faint blood stains on the soles of her slippers.
That is not Ibuki's blood, right? She suffered no external injuries.
Correct.
And it's Hiyoko's blood!
Hyoko's only wound was a fatal slice on her neck. And she died almost instantly, right?
If Ibuki
yeah.
stepped on her blood...
It means Ibuki was still standing when Hiyoko was mortally wounded. It means Ibuki was still alive at the exact moment Hiyoko was killed.
Don't underestimate
Right?
the power
Ooh,
of the evil
Gundam.
eye.
Are you trying to defile my words?
Is that it? A shepherd dressed in his Sunday's finest still reeks of lamb, Hajime Hinata.
Does that mean
Try
you
it.
have a rebuttal?
Does that mean you have a rebuttal? That's a good line. But are you sure you're sure? If I show you how serious I am, this world might be destroyed, you know. You're so frightened
Sure.
you can't even make a sound. It seems you've realized our difference in status. However, the time for conviction starts now. You better entertain me to the fullest.
Nah, mate, you're wrong. You're wrong. Somewhere you're wrong. Oh,
You're
okay.
saying the blood on Ibuki's feet belonged to Hiyoko? Impossible! Try to remember the crime scene. There was no blood on the floor.
Yes, there was actually.
You can't step on blood that was never there.
Actually, that's smudge actually.
As long as Ibuki's body has no open wounds, there's no doubt that that blood is Hiyoko's.
Hiyoko was taped to the pillar, but it's possible that the pillar still had blood on it. However, you cannot step on the pillar with your... It's been nearly 3 years since I've had to use 60%.
Oh, what the hell are these words? What?
Damn it!
You're saying the blood on Ibuki's feet belonged to Hiyoko?
Smudge on the floor.
Impossible.
There's only one place where
Try to remember the crime scene. There was no
rebuttal.
blood on the floor.
Allow me
Got
to
him.
get through those words.
Okay, we're doing not as well as
The
we
reason
did
there
in
was
other
no blood on the
trials,
floor is because the
but we're
killer
doing
wiped
it
it
when it
away
comes to minigames.
Don't say such foolish things. You don't have proof of that at all.
Yes, we do.
I do. If you look closely, there's a streak on the floor where blood was wiped away.
Have you not seen
When the killer
this?
tried to hide Hyoko's body, they probably cleaned the blood at the same time, but Ibuki must have already stepped in it, and the killer probably didn't even realize it.
The reason they wiped off the blood on the floor was so we'd mix up the order of the murders, right? Even if they're able to hide Hiyoko's body, it'd be bad if her blood was left out in the open.
Plus, Ibuki's body was left out in the open, and it wasn't bleeding from any open wounds at all.
Hyoko's body was probably wrapped in duct tape to stop her bleeding.
Most likely.
Actually, the bleeding will stop once the heart stops beating. So I don't think they had to go that far.
Aside from Mikon, none of us were aware of that fact, so the killer probably did not know it either.
Maybe
I guess.
that heater was running inside the music venue so it would screw with Mikon's autopsy?
That's right! I didn't know the time of death because of the heater!
Artificial
Wasn't
death,
mentioned in
then.
the Monokuma file just to keep concrete evidence from us.
Yep. Since we have all this evidence, there's no one else who wants to object, right? Then it's decided. Hiyoko was killed before Ibuki.
Got
It
it.
appears that it is wiser to retreat for now.
For you, Gunman.
But regardless of good or evil, there's no deceit in upholding one's convictions.
Can't you just shut up and back off?
Now then, Let us resume our
okay.
debate.
Kazuichi, that's mean.
Wait a sec. There's something I want to run by Monokuma first.
Huh? Again? Didn't something like this happen last time too?
Hey,
Pretty
if
sure,
the victim
maybe.
actually committed suicide, what are we supposed to do?
The
Suicide.
same as always. You have to vote for who the killer is. Think about it. A suicide means you've killed the most important existence of all, yourself.
Oh, Monokuma, the way you say it,
that
man.
means there's no Blacken to punish, but I guess in a pinch, I can always punish Monami.
Oh, because Monami,
Nagito,
you're annoying.
What do you mean? If the victim actually committed suicide?
Actually?
Well, I mean, I understand Hiyoko's death, but I'm wondering if Ibuki was really murdered. For example, it's possible Ibuki killed Hiyoko and then committed suicide due to a guilty conscience, right?
That's totally
I don't think
impossible.
so.
Then she never would have killed her to begin with.
She was afflicted by the despair disease, remember? That means anything can happen.
But she was had the Gulliver side.
She wouldn't have been able to falsify the sequence of the murders, right? After Hajime saw the hanged body, the sudden appearance of Hiyoko's body soon after means the killer had to be alive at that time.
Then she was
Guess so.
alive. When Hajime first discovered Ibuki, she was just pretending to be dead. If she waited until Hajime left, that's when she could have made her move and mess with the crime scene.
She hanged herself. Remember? There's no fucking way she could have faked that.
And if she was going to fake her death, I think she wouldn't have chosen hanging.
You wouldn't last long with
Her body would have been
rope around your
defenseless in
neck,
that
man.
state. If anyone touched her, that alone would have ruined her plan.
I see. So that means
I don't know what this man was
there's
going
no
with.
doubt that someone killed those two. I'm glad. Now I'm free to search for the killer. What the heck?
You're easy
There's
to.
still one more issue on my mind.
You're easy to.
If Ibuki did
What's
commit
that? To
suicide,
influence?
just what was that video Hajime saw?
Huh? My washing
According
machine.
to that video you saw, Ibuki was by herself when she climbed the stepladder, right? Then does that mean someone forced her to do it?
Forced? Perhaps they used hypnotism or something?
I don't know anything about that.
Don't say it all proud.
Putting that aside, it seems obvious that the killer did something.
That's true.
So maybe we should figure
Yeah, I
out
gotta
who was able
gotta
to
see
do
my
whatever that
stuff in the
was.
washing machine.
An
Alright, back in
alibi.
it.
Then our plan is to destroy the weakest alibi. Since Hajime has seen the video, it is clear what time the crime took place.
But just to be sure, that surveillance camera doesn't have a record function, right?
It's a cheap-ass surveillance camera, you know? There's no way it'd have some kind of sweet recording feature.
Then the video
Bet it can't
Hajime
be
saw was
even implemented
actually
either.
live?
What time did Hajime see that video?
I saw it
I
at the
don't know,
hospital,
10.
right before Monokuma's morning announcement. And I saw the
That
body
should
of
be
the
like
music
around
video a little
7
after
then.
Monokuma's announcement.
So Ibuki hanged herself right before Monokuma's announcement. And since we established that Hiyoko was killed before Ibuki, that means the time that the murders occurred was before and during the announcement.
I guess so.
We just have to find the person who doesn't have an alibi during that time?
Now then, I shall issue my decree. Let Operation Destroy the Weakest Alibi commence.
That's a weak name. Okay, let's go with it though. Jesus. Mikan. Oh.
We can exclude the
everyone's
sick
account.
people like me and Akane, right?
And what about the others?
Yeah, protect
Right
the
before the
night.
morning announcement, I was totally sleeping in my motel room.
I think everyone at the
Okay.
motel was doing that.
So everyone who stayed at the motel doesn't have an alibi. What about you
Basically.
guys? I was where I was supposed to be, my own cottage.
That's not an alibi.
Aside from those afflicted by the disease, if nobody has an alibi, then Operation Destroy the Weakest Alibi has failed.
I guess the murders supposedly happened before and during the morning announcement. The trial's proceeding is nobody has an alibi, but are we okay?
We can exclude the sick people like me and Akane, right?
Sonya,
And what about the others?
Mikan,
Right before the morning announcement,
Fujiko's.
I was totally sleeping in my motel room.
Didn't Nikon say something about it?
So everyone who stated, what about you guys? I was where I was supposed to be.
That's not an alibi.
Aside from those afflicted by the... If nobody has an alibi, then...
Nikon? Ooh.
No, that's wrong.
Yes, I remember she said something really damning or something like that.
Hold on. Not all of us are missing an alibi. In fact, Mikon and I both have alibis.
Well, she did something
You
damning.
two have alibis?
Up until I saw that hanging video, Mikon and I were actually together for a while.
Oh yeah.
We even woke up together that morning.
Hey, what kind of situation is that?
An accident. Don't
I
ask.
accidentally fell asleep on top of Hajime.
You don't have to describe
Too
that.
much info.
It's not like that. She just came to tell me Nagato's condition had improved.
And we went to the hospital together afterward. So we were together until right before the announcement.
Don't worry, Mikan. I shall protect.
You guys have alibis.
If that's the case, the killer must be someone else.
It's better if we think about it like that. The killer decided to falsify the murder sequence to hide the actual time of the crime anyway.
True
So it's
that.
inevitable that an alibi for both before and during the morning announcement would be very important.
Yes.
It feels like Operation Destroy the Weakest Alibi has backed us into a corner instead.
Probably for the good, hopefully.
Committing an imitation murder? Is that really all it was? Faking the time the crime occurred by
what?
falsifying the murder
What did I
sequence?
do?
Hiding their alibi in the process? Was that the only reason the killer made both bodies imitate the movie?
Are you saying
Could be.
there was another reason?
I feel really bad for confusing you guys so much, but that's how I feel. I think the killer had a completely different reason for falsifying the murder sequence.
It didn't fit their motive. Different reason from the killer? If that's the case, are we still in the killer's trap? Is a trap set by one of us? If so, then whose and what kind of trap is it? Oh. Already half time? Class trial's been suspended. Oh no.
Hiya!
Oh no. Oh no. I'm not dealing with that. I'm sorry. Well, with that, that's gonna be it for this episode, lads. So anyways, thank you all for watching. Leave a like for this episode, and don't forget to subscribe and share with your friends, lads. And I shall see you in whatever episode you watch next on Shaman. Peace.
You're ready, yeah,